Welcome to the I24 News Desk. I'm Tracy Alexander and these are the major headlines we're following from around the world. We begin with a developing story in Egypt as former President Hosni Mubarak walked free for the first time in 6 years. Mubarak left the Maadi military hospital in Cairo where he'd been detained and is now at his home in Heliopolis. Mubarak was forced to resign from power 6 years ago during the Arab Spring uprising. He was ousted from power after 3 decades of ruling Egypt and was originally sentenced to life in prison for murdering protesters. But a final appeals court this month cleared the 88-year-old former president on charges that he conspired to murder more than 200 demonstrators. Shortly after his release, a bomb blast in the neighbourhood of Maadi killed 1 man and injured 3 others. There's no claim of responsibility for the explosion and it's unclear if it's related to Mubarak's release, although the blast went off about 5 kilometres away from the hospital where Mubarak had been held. Well, now to new updates on the London terror attack investigation. Police made 2 more arrests overnight in connection to the investigation, bringing the total number of arrests to 10. Police are calling these latest 2 arrests, quote, significant. Also overnight, a 75-year-old man died in the hospital more than a day after the attack. That brings the death toll now to 4. Police also named the killer as British-born Khalid Massoud. Police shot and killed him while he was carrying out his car ramming and stabbing attack. Investigators also released Massoud's birth name as Adrian Russell. He was not the subject of any current police investigations, but he had been investigated in the past for violent extremism. The investigation, of course, continues in the heart of London as hundreds of well-wishers dropped off flowers at the scene. The threat level in Britain remains at severe because there are reasonable concerns about more mass violence. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas is publicly calling out Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for refusing to meet with him and once again asking the Israeli leader to join him in Moscow for a new round of peace talks. He made the comments yesterday in Berlin during a speech on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Abbas is visiting Germany and earlier he met with Chancellor Angela Merkel. The 2 leaders wrapped up a joint press conference just a short time ago. Now, Merkel said Germany is still committed to the 2-state solution and sees no reasonable alternative. Abbas wants to meet with Netanyahu face to face. And those are the top headlines this hour here at I24 News. I'm Tracy Alexander. Thanks for joining us.